Okay, so we're on now. We're streaming.
Alright.
You may want to visit your channel to feature your live stream. Why would I want to do that? I'm new to this live stream on YouTube thing, so I have no idea what's going
That's
on.
okay.
Why is the countdown still going on? Or is it just going to disappear in a second?
Did you not, like, actually go live with it?
No, it says stop streaming. Oh, there it goes. There was just a crazy long delay. That's cool. Didn't you say they changed streaming? The settings or something?
Dang.
The broadcaster has canceled this event. We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please try again later. No, that would be lying. I don't lie to my peeps. I don't call them my peeps either. Okay, so... Alright, we're recording and we are streaming. And I think that makes 2 out of 3.
It ain't so bad.
I don't know what the third is, but we'll figure it out when we get there. We'll figure it out when we get there.
When we get there.
Okay, so we're talking about... What?
Well, we could kind of spin this into what we were talking about. You can kind of spin into what you said for Gaff, because I wanted to talk about licensed movie games.
Okay.
And then we can talk about the Gaff thing.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And I'll talk about the movie Neighbors that I saw. I reviewed it. We'll get into that. And since I reviewed it, you can pretty much surmise I hated it.
Because that's you mostly with most movies. And games.
I was like, wait a minute. So you reviewed it, so you hated it. Cool. That's great.
Yeah.
That's so it must have been complete crap to you, but great to everyone else on the planet. Like, that's great. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you know, never mind, I'm right like 99% of the time. But hey, whatever. Whatever. I just pick things that I'm pretty sure I'll hate, so that when I'm right about it, people go, "Oh my god,
You could hate about it.
why do you always just pick shit that you hate to watch?" Okay. Is there a way to share this stream or anything?
There should be like a link. It should be like kind of like how when you're doing it live, there should be like a link, just like if you were watching YouTube. And you should be able to listen to
Oh,
it
is there?
that way.
Oh, there is. Okay. It's on the player itself. I see now. I see so clearly. The rain is gone. Awesome. Can't hear anything, can you? There we go. I don't know why it muted my stream. The fuck? I'm using OBS to broadcast. Why not?
I'll tell you if I can hear anything on it.
I just unmuted it. It's like it's got like a 10-second delay. It's gonna like blow your ears out in a second. Be careful.
Okay, let's see. Nothing. I still hear silence.
It was working. Didn't you hear it when I like had
Oh wait,
it?
there it goes.
Okay. It's
Watch.
there we go. Okay. That's our stream, by the way.
Okay.
Is there a way
I
to
can
share
hear it
this
now.
stream or anything? Yeah. See.
Yeah, the link.
How does it sound?
Oh, I see. It's back and Don,
Yes.
don't say anything for me. It should be like a link. It should be like kind of like how when you're doing it live, there should be like a link, just like if you were watching YouTube. Oh wow, it's way delayed.
Oh, is there? Oh, there is. Okay. It is way delayed, but whatever. It automatically archives it on my YouTube channel, so I don't have to encode it and upload it
That's
later.
good.
So it works, and it's people can hear it like now instead of having to
Yeah.
wait. So, and not to mention it's YouTube. Like I said, everybody fucking goes to YouTube, so
Yeah.
it's a lot easier access for people. I hope anyway. Okay, so let's get going. Let's not only get going, but let's get started.
Yeah, I agree.
And in our ramblings here, I didn't even cue up the intro or anything. So
How long do you want to typically make our podcast? Like 30 minutes to an hour?
below an hour, like 50.
Hey, what up?
Say 50 to an hour.
Okay.
I'd like it to be below an hour so I could put 2 episodes on.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, if we don't have anything to talk about, that's fine.
Yeah, I
We'll
got
skate early, but if it's typically
Going good, yeah, then-
yeah, I feel like an hour's pretty adequate because we usually we can talk,
Yeah.
you and I.
Oh.
That's good though. All right, let me see how loud this is.
Hey, what up?
Okay, I gotta get the right volume here. Does it sound loud enough to you?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Wait, it sounds loud enough, you said?
Hey, what up?
Alright. No, I agree. I wasn't, like, sassing you. Okay. Give us a countdown. 5,
4.
4, 3, 2, -3, -5, 6. Welcome to the latest edition of Whatever with Don and Justin, and it is, yes, that's right, it's Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
Mother's Day 2014. And that means,
Hey, what up?
So you better thank your mothers, and you guys better thank your mothers, because if you don't,
Hey, what up? Cause this is my United States or whatever. And this is my United States or whatever.
welcome to the Mother's Day edition 2014 of Whatever with Don and Justin, like I just said. I had a song queued up. I'm not going to play it. I was going to play Mama Said by Metallica, but that song sucks. So I'm not going to play it. But
you should have played Mama Said Knock You Out.
Mama Said Knock You Out. She did. And I didn't. So I can't play that song because I didn't listen when she told me to. So anyway, how you been, Justin? What you been doing this past week? Anything?
You know, celebrating Mother's Day. You know,
Yeah.
it's,
How was your beloved's first Mother's Day?
great, good,
Yeah.
good, and everything's good. And we saw her mother, saw my mother, and
That's cool.
she's a mother, so we had this kind of Mother's Day.
Yeah, it's you guys had great timing, by the way, with the kid, just so you could,
I know, right?
kind of sneak in right under the radar there.
Just like,
the
give me money,
last
it's
second.
Mother's Day. No, I'm just kidding.
Now we know the real reason behind the
Yeah,
whole
and then
thing.
next month is
Wow.
Father's, so you know, hey.
Yeah, exactly. So that new whatever you need is coming. I don't know what you don't have, but
Yeah, it's okay.
what do you give the man who has everything? I was listening to our old podcast last night, and I came up at one point.
What did we say? Do you remember?
No. I don't remember what I... Oh, yeah. I asked you what you're getting for Christmas, and I was like, you already have everything that you could possibly want, right? Like, all the game consoles. And you're like, oh, yeah, that's what you meant. Like, yeah, okay. And I was like, yeah. And you said, whoa, what do you buy the man that has everything? And I was like, it's impossible to have everything. But it's not. It's really not. Like, I have everything. I really don't. I'm sad and lonely. So anyway...
It's okay. Don't be lonely. I'm here with you right
No,
now.
it's fine. It's fine. But I was lonely when Adam was filling it. So anyway, let's get moving to the... Just kidding, Adam. He's...
Yeah, I was gonna
Adam,
say, come on.
take the noose off your neck. Stop it. So, okay. He's a good guy.
It is.
So this
Love
week, we don't really have any, like, real set topics.
No.
Next week's going to be cool because we're going to have our first guest on. I don't know if they're going to come and sit the whole show or just like a segment. We haven't figured that out yet, or what we're going to talk about or anything. We don't know yet. But yeah. So anyway, next week's going to be cool. It's going to be different. But this week, we just drummed up a couple of topics really quick before coming on here, and it just sounded like you were motorboating. Yeah. But hey, the topics we came up with were Justin wanted to talk about movie licensed games, and what was it that there aren't any good ones?
There is, but they're far and few between.
And why is that? That's one of the things we want to touch on tonight. And then I also saw the movie Neighbors, and anyone that's checked out my YouTube channel, which I think there's 10 of you, that saw my review, yeah, so you guys know what I thought of it. But anyway, I'll get into that later, probably in the second half. But so the first half of the show, we're going to talk about movie licensed games, and then I saw a game that was going on NeoGAF that I thought would be kind of fun to do, but I don't know how good at it we'll be. But it'll test our improvisational skills. I can't even say that word tonight.
Oh, I'm good. I'm real good.
Oh, I'm good at improv, but I'm just bad at those types of games off the top of my head, which is improv. So
Okay.
I guess I'm bad at improv. So anyway, what's a recent example that you're aware of, Justin, of a really bad movie licensed game? Do you have any in mind in particular?
That's like recent?
Not. I was playing into you playing the Mummy, but hey, if you want to. No, I mean, recent to you that you're aware of. No, not like recent movie tie-in games. Didn't the most recent like Transformers Blue, right?
Actually,
The movie tie-in.
The movie
The
one.
movie
I heard
one.
that Blue. I never played it.
Yeah, okay. You didn't play it because you heard it blue.
Well, I just didn't play it because it was off the movie. So I was like,
Yeah, even though it was made by the people that made the good Transformers games.
But I knew that they were making it
Before
in between
that.
the good ones.
It's so weird, isn't it? It's the same developer, and there's really no reason. This is what we're kind of talking about. There's no reason for it to be bad because it's the same game. Should be the same game practically, right?
Yeah.
But for some reason, this movie tie-in game we're talking about, was it Transformers: Dark of the Moon?
Yeah.
The movie game was reviewed very poorly, and like it just wasn't very good by a lot of accounts. And the other two by High Moon Studios, Fall and War for Cybertron, were actually pretty fun, and they were the Transformers games that people had wished for years. And all of a sudden, this one that's like sandwiched in between, made by the same studio, all of a sudden isn't good. Why? Seemingly no reason other than it's a movie tie-in. I don't understand.
Yeah.
It's kind of strange.
It's actually interesting because there's a good example of this as well recently. I've been playing The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Right.
And I actually was pretty surprised by The Amazing Spider-Man 1. When it came out, I played it and I was like, wow, this is actually pretty good. Probably one of the better Spider-Man games. And it's a licensed game. Like, whoa, it had its own story that took place like after the first movie. So it didn't really like spoil too much of what the actual
that's
movie
cool.
did.
I didn't know that. I still haven't played the first Amazing Spider-Man. I know it's on PC. Activision has a horrible habit of not discounting their games past 25% on a Steam sale, which is criminal. So anyway, I haven't bought it yet. So anyway,
well, plus the fact that Spider-Man games really retain their value, probably because it's Spider-Man. I mean, I recently went and looked at all the different Spider-Man games that have come out, and I mean, even Web of Shadows, which is old, like back when Treyarch was working on it.
Yeah,
it's freaking. They're still like $30. So
wow,
it's just they just retain their value very well. But
they're the Honda. They're the Honda of movie license games. Go ahead.
Exactly. But back to what I was saying is that I've been playing 2, and granted, I've been playing on PS4. Now, obviously, it's not built for PS4 or next gen, so of course it's like a port, and you can tell it doesn't look next gen per se. I mean, there's a couple nice little effects, but it's basically structured the same as the first game in a sense, except it just seems completely bad compared to the first game. And I mean, I wouldn't say it's the worst game I've ever played or like it's super horrible, but comparing it to the first, there's a huge drop in quality.
That sucks.
And yeah, and it even is so much the missions, and it's just weird because okay, so the game only has like 14 missions.
Wow,
and
really?
7 boss battles.
Wow,
and,
that's a lot of boss battles.
Yeah, and so it's like I don't know the game. And and the other thing is the only thing it ties into the movie is it's Spider-Man, it's got Electro, and it's got Green Goblin. But everything else is its own. Like Kingpin's in there, Black Cat's in there, Kraven's in there, Carnage is in there.
Craven, wow.
And yeah, and Carnage is in there, and it's like they throw and most of them you fight like the second half of the game. It's like you're doing missions, a boss battle, missions, boss battle, then it's like mission, boss battle, boss battle, boss battle, boss. Like they really just throw it all at you, and it's like it's just lacking. And this goes back to what you were saying. It's like when it comes to licensed games, they have a timetable.
Yeah,
they have a crunch
I was
time,
about to say.
And that has to be it, because how can the same company that made Amazing Spider-Man, which has way more to it and it's way better done, and then you fast forward to Amazing Spider-Man 2, which is like what 2 or 2.5, 3 years later, and it's just a much poorer quality of a game, and it's all you can think is it's just they had to get it out in time for the movie. And
Yeah, you would expect it to be better because a lot of the legwork going into designing and building the first game is already done. The engine's done, the graphics are pretty much done. They just have to upgrade textures and stuff. You know, animations are done, all that basic stuff. And yeah, you're right. Like I don't know. It's confusing to me, but yeah, that has to be the reason, I would think, is that they're just rushing them out the door because they have to meet the movie's release. You know, that's the ultimate goal, is to make the date that the movie arrives. And of course, the movie is done months, in advance. It's already finished because, they have to do post-production. They have to do all the CG and everything, like, months, years even after the filming is stopped.
Yeah.
And so, like, they've already wrapped that stuff. And since that takes priority, the game, they're probably working like till the 11th hour trying to get everything ironed out, and then eventually I'm sure they just throw their hands up and just go, it's a licensed game, nobody cares. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I think like they probably honestly just go, it's a licensed game, nobody really expects it to be good at some point, and they just and then when you do get a good licensed game like Wolverine,
that's what I was gonna say, Wolverine.
Yeah, it's like a breath of fresh air, and then all of a sudden, of course, Raven never gets another IP to do anything with again. And then
don't remind me.
Oh,
man.
it sucks. I hate that. I really hate that. They're working on Call of Duty map packs now, I think.
Dude, that was a
Good
great
times.
company.
Yeah, it was, and I'm not sure what happened to a lot of people that like designed, worked on a lot of Raven's good games like Singularity. I really enjoyed that, and like, the Wolfenstein that they did and stuff like that. Like all those games are quality. But they never took off in sales, and apparently, I'm guessing, I don't know. I'd have to look at credits and things and compare the games or whatnot. But I'm guessing a lot of people probably left that actually crafted those games at that company, and it's unfortunate because they made a good licensed movie game, and they're one of the few examples that we were talking about. It's a God of War clone basically, and it's Wolverine, X-Men Origins. And it's funny is it is the most satisfying depiction of Wolverine I think I've ever seen.
Oh, yes.
Because they just went balls to the wall, gore, just out the ass and all kinds of stuff, over the top,
left and right.
Yeah, and in the movies they're PG-13, of course, so they can't just have him going willy-nilly just slashing heads off and stuff. But in that game, you pick up a guy and throw his face right into the propeller of a helicopter and just knock it off. It's awesome.
And
it's really cool.
The cool thing that they also did was not only did they base some of the missions off of the movie and what the movie was doing, but they totally threw in their own stuff in between.
That was a long game. That was like a 12, 13 hour long game, which is long for a God of War type game. Because those God of War games are 7, 8 hours usually, and you're just done. Yeah. God of War 3 was 7 months long, but still.
I mean, I'll admit, I'd say that their biggest issue in Wolverine was the last boss was I thought was kind of lame, the way just how it went and everything. But other than that, I mean, that game was really good.
Yeah, I really liked it. And thankfully, I got a PC release, so I can enjoy it, and my own whim.
Yeah, but it's not on. But it's not
future-proofed.
On Steam.
No, it's not on Steam. They need to fix that.
Wolfenstein.
Yeah, they need to fix that stuff. You know what though? Wolfenstein was on Steam, and they pulled it. They pulled it. And I bought it before they pulled it, so I can still download it from Steam. But you cannot buy it on Steam anymore because Bethesda has a license now, I guess, and that's why. Yeah. But yeah, that they've got to iron out the problems with digital distribution before it even dreams of becoming a replacement for discs.
Because things just disappeared, and you're like, what the fuck?
And that really doesn't make any sense to me. You know what I mean? I mean, seriously, it's not like the game's lost or just not available anywhere. It's digital. It's a freaking download. Put it up. It's files on a server. Just work it out. You're losing money by not having it up on there. You know, it doesn't make sense to me.
Licensing stuff that
It's really stupid. They pulled
fine print.
Speaking of like movie games, they pulled the James Bond game. It wasn't a movie. It wasn't a Skyfall game or anything like that. But it was Bloodstone, 007 Bloodstone. It came out right when Quantum of Solace came out, and they pulled that from Steam. And just because, I don't know, I guess licensing ran out on that too. But it's just silly. Like, they don't have digital download games on digital services available for download. It's stupid. Especially when they were already there, you know?
Yeah.
And they're still there. They didn't really pull the game, like, from
they're probably
Steam.
still sitting on the server.
They have to be, because I can still download Wolfenstein, like, forever,
Yeah.
because it's on my account. They just can't sell it. It's really stupid. But that's a whole nother show.
Yeah.
The whole digital distribution thing's a different show.
So talking about licensed games, though, okay, obviously Wolverine was one that struck me out as being really good. Is there any other ones that you can think of that were licensed that you actually thought were, they don't have to be amazing, but were just turned out okay or pretty good?
Well, GoldenEye. GoldenEye is still a classic in my eyes. I still enjoy that game. I thought the remake of GoldenEye was really good. Honestly,
Yeah, that was.
I really enjoyed it on the Wii. Anyway, I didn't play actually, that's a lie. I played GoldenEye Reloaded on PS3, and for some reason, it was up to 60 frames a second, which was nice, but it didn't. I don't know. They changed some of the stuff in it. It changed some mechanic stuff, and it didn't feel the same to me. But yeah. Other than that, I mean, there's other games. I'm having trouble thinking of them right now. But
Yeah, I mean, like I really enjoy the Indiana Jones games. I mean,
which ones?
I like them all.
The point and click ones?
I like the point and click ones. The 3D ones I really enjoyed. The Emperor's Tomb, which I'm playing currently, and Staff of Kings I even enjoyed, even though it was really short and we didn't get the next gen version we were supposed to.
That's cool. Didn't they put one of them on the Wii? Didn't they?
Yeah, that was the Staff of Kings.
Okay, yeah, that was a weird one, because didn't it only come out on the Wii and PS2
No,
or something
PS2.
like that?
Yeah, it was supposed to come out next gen. They had showed
Right.
the clips and the trailers, and they were going to be using the Euphoria engine that Force was
Oh,
using.
wow.
Force Unleashed. And next thing you know, something happened, and they stopped making it. Meanwhile, I think AM2 was working on the Wii and PS2 version, and they were like, "Well, we're finished. Just release this."
We're not throwing our work out the window. Yeah, so I'll have to pick those up and try them, because I don't think I've ever played, other than the point and click games years ago. I've never played an Indiana Jones game. Like,
Yeah,
it's
check out, not to self-advertise, but no, seriously, check out I'm doing a walkthrough on the Emperor's Tomb. Check out some videos on it. It's kind of like a quasi Tomb Raider-ish vibe. So there's also another older one that's obviously looks more blocky because it's much older, called Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine. Now that one is actually probably the hardest one. Like, seriously, some really Tomb Raider mind-bending puzzle stuff there and trying to figure stuff out. But the Emperor's Tomb is, did you ever play any games by The Collective, the guys that made, like, Buffy?
No, man, I need to play that too. Like, I've heard that game was like the what's the word I'm looking for? Forebearer is what I wanted to say. The precursor to the combat system in the Arkham games.
Well, kind of.
Is that right?
I mean, and it's also that Buffy game was really damn good, so that's another licensed game that was good. But they did Emperor's Tomb, and you can kind of tell from a little bit from the bat. But it's just it's not as hard when it comes to puzzles and stuff. I mean, there's still puzzles, there's platforming, there's fist fighting, there's grabbing chairs and bashing them over people and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. But then Staff of Kings was by a different developer, and it kind of retains that feeling, but this is kind of weird to say. It kind of feels like it has a little bit more of an arcade experience to it, because when you use your gun and stuff, it's like automated parts where you're like hiding and you pop out, kind of like like a cover-based shooter. But you're stuck doing that till you kill everybody or do what you need to do in said shooting missions. But yeah, I mean, check it out on my channel to get an idea of what they're like. The Emperor's Tomb's actually on PC if you can find it.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, if you can find it. And Infernal Machine's on PC as well, but it's older. And Staff of Kings, sadly, is only on Wii and PS2, but you can get it for, like, I think like $8, $5.
Nice. Okay.
It's cheap.
Yeah, I need to
So-
go. I need to go looking for older Wii games anyway, since they're being phased out of GameStops and stuff. And I have
Yeah,
I have a
definitely.
USB loader. I can just copy them all to my hard drive and not even have to worry about the disc anymore. But the one thing I was just thinking was, I wonder if like Good Old Games or anything has those old Indiana Jones games at all. And if they don't, I wonder what's going to happen now that Disney owns LucasArts and all that stuff. Man, that's crazy. There's a ton of stuff that they did like with those IP. And I also wonder if they're going to do anything with the Indiana Jones license with game wise.
They
I have
should.
no
I
idea.
mean, I would love a new one. I think they're great.
Man, it's like perfect for video games. The Indiana Jones license, especially. It's just like,
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, like either puzzles and the whole, whatever.
Platforming.
Yeah, everything. God,
I mean, that's why I like
Shooting?
Uncharted. Even
God.
though Uncharted severely lacks puzzles for the most part.
Right.
The third one, they actually added the most puzzles, which I was impressed
Yeah.
with. That's a reason why I like 3 a lot. They actually put puzzles in it, and I was like, yes, So,
yeah,
yeah, no, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with all like LucasArts stuff. Although here's a good tip for you as well: the Staff of Kings
Mhm.
on the Wii actually comes with the Fate of Atlantis.
that's right. That's totally right. I remember that now. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
so-
That's really awesome. It's
That was
it's
my-
an
that was an awesome
unlockable,
game.
right?
What's that?
It's an unlockable. Is that right?
Yes, but I think you can even unlock it. Like, I think there's a code to like just straight up unlock it.
Yeah, that's cool. I remember people literally just buying it for for that game instead of like, because I think a lot of people were kind of lukewarm on the actual game Staff of Kings or whatever, and like they were just kind of buying it just because of the unlockable.
Yeah, and it's actually a shame. I think Staff of Kings is pretty cool. Like, it definitely, even though it feels lower budget than the last Indiana Jones games prior to that, it just gives that good Indiana Jones vibe. It's adventurous, it's action packed, it encapsulates what the franchise is about, which I think is always actually what would be best for licensed games, as long as they don't like turn out like extremely poorly developed.
Yeah.
I tried playing Thor not too long ago, and I just couldn't do it. Like, it's like a God of War type of game, but the graphics and just the way it played, and it locked up on me, and I was like, I'm done.
Is it
I'm
like
done.
is it like the Sega Iron Man games? Because those were horrible.
Yeah, I would probably lump it in that group.
Those were bad, really bad.
Yeah,
Especially
yeah,
the
really
movie
bad.
games. Like, man, they were terrible. There's oh man, I'm trying to think of some other like movie tie-in games that are good that I would recommend for people to check out at least. If not, like, just recommend, just outright, it's awesome, but just like give it a look. Maybe E.T. because it just got picked out of the landfill.
No, not E.T. But speaking of
No,
Indiana
E.T.'s
Jones,
pretty bad.
The Fate of Atlantis and The Last Crusade are actually on Steam.
Oh, is it really?
$4.99 a piece. Yeah.
Wow, what a ripoff. Just kidding. So,
Other licensed games that are good. It's tough. Like I said, I mean, the Buffy game was pretty damn good. The second one I don't think was as good, but it was still decent.
what about the Warriors?
Oh, that's a good
The
one.
Warriors is badass, and it's like it was a movie tie-in game, but it was 30 years after the movie, something like
so
that. Was
they weren't really
way
hoping
after,
for the franchise.
right?
itself,
Yeah,
per
they weren't
se.
like, whoa, we got a tight deadline, we got to meet, guys. It's like, not really. Yeah. All right. So are we done talking about the movie games? Because we could get into the GAF thing that I was
Yeah, let's
talking
go for
about.
that.
The GAF thing that I saw earlier was name a movie or TV IP that you think would work well with a video game, and what type of game would you like it to be? That's what I'm adding because I don't think they actually said that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, so what IP can you think of, any movie or TV IPs that would make a good game?
To be completely fair, anything I extremely like, I probably wouldn't want them to make a game because I'd be terrified it would suck.
Right?
But let's just pretend in a perfect world that I could pick games to come out and it
Uh-huh.
would be awesome.
Yeah.
I think one of them that just strikes me off the top of my head right away, and even though it's a cliched genre now at this point, I would probably pick Shaun of the Dead.
Oh,
Because
that's
I think
cool.
that could be really fun. And you know what? Actually, I could see it being more of like a beat 'em up type of game, not a first person.
I was gonna say, what would you like take bats, cricket bats or something?
Yeah, but
God of War it.
Yeah, I think it'd be a cool little like.
It'd be a cool
third-person brawler.
like Streets of Rage kind of, like Scott
Yeah.
Pilgrim versus the World, old school kind of. That'd be awesome. I'd actually like to see that.
So that's the first thing that comes to my mind.
That'd be pretty cool. I'm thinking point and click Goonies.
Oh yeah.
That'd be cool. I would actually love that. I think I would. I don't know. Probably not. But
You could even take it and make it like a Tomb Raider type game, but just not super.
yeah, it'd be cool.
Rocky Road. Ruth, maybe Ruth.
Oh man, yeah, I can see your ears twitching from here.
Chocolate.
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 Do
the
the
funny thing is
do the truffle shuffle. Come on, do the truffle shuffle. I wonder if there's any sort of like unlockable for the truffle shuffle or something.
I know there should be. The funny thing about that is we
Trophy.
talk about Goonies at work like all the time.
Do you really?
Oh yeah, so like we had a bake off recently where we made desserts, and I designed the flyers, and every time we find a way to put like something Goonies. So this time, I basically put I found online a picture of a cake with sloth on it.
Oh no way.
Yeah. So it was perfect. So yeah, Goonies, that would be good. I would like that. I mean, hell, if they never got around to making a sequel, they could make a Goonies sequel game, even though there already is one on Nintendo. But yeah.
Yeah. I totally forgot about that game. Wow.
So did I.
Man, no, you didn't because you mentioned
was
it.
hard.
So, let's see.
Never
Do you have
seen
any
that.
others? Do you have any others?
Let me think here.
Think of
real
a
quick.
TV show. You don't probably watch much TV, do you?
No, I don't. How about this? I'd like to see a game based off of Crank.
Crank?
Yeah.
Holy shit, that would be nuts.
Exactly.
Wow. That's like perfect too, man. Like the movie had like video game sounds in it at one
Yes.
point, I think. It was yeah, that would be great. I would love
it's
that.
Crazy. It
Man, you
has
talk
a
about
weird sense of humor.
Oh wow, it's kind of like I'm thinking like kind of like a Saints Row kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just nuts, just out of this world, like just fucking craziness.
Yeah, like one of like finishing moves could be where like he flips him over and just shoves the tar ridden shotgun up the dude's ass.
He's
the
like
trigger.
he's just like running and he's like running down the street just as a gigantic raging boner
Yeah.
for no reason. Where did
Yeah,
that come from? Who cares? It's Crank the game.
Yeah, and you could have like a sequence where you're driving and like the dude that's driving you, has Tourette's or something.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
you could go crazy with it.
Why am I talking like this? I don't understand it. It's weird. You always sound like that. We're at Thanksgiving dinner and you sound like that, Jason. It's so strange. Yeah, I don't know why he talks like that.
It's just his voice. He just has the Jason Statham voice.
No.
That's all it is.
He's good at transporting things. So
Uh,
what else would be a good? Oh, let's see if there's any TV IP. I keep thinking Breaking Bad would be a good game.
yeah, I mean it could
Yeah,
be. But
it'd
you'd
be
have
good,
to find
but-
a good way to balance like the drama versus the
It would
action.
It would have to be. No, I'm thinking like a Dr. Mario kind of like thing. Maybe like the mini game in Resident Evil. Not mini game, but the puzzle in Resident Evil where you like mix the chemicals together.
Yeah.
Something like that. You have to like.
Would that be fun?
You have to like figure out the. Well, if it taught you how to actually make meth, maybe.
No, don't mix those. You'll.
Yeah, I mean, if you learned how to actually make real meth from it, maybe it could, serve a purpose.
Ooh,
Who
man.
knows? Yeah, I would definitely have more of a gaming budget at that point. And of course, my PSN name would be Heisenberg, but whatever. All right, so
I'd say something like 24, but there was already a game of that.
Yeah.
So,
Saw? No, that's
Saw
already a game
has
too.
game.
Daylight? No, wait, that's not a movie or a TV IP. That's just a shitty game
It's a shitty
made by
game,
the people
yeah.
that made Saw.
How about Heroes? Heroes could maybe make a game.
Oh, that would be. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that being one.
But then it could turn out like the Lost game and suck ass.
Oh, it was a Lost game?
It's called Via Damas, but I called it Via Dumbass. Yeah, it's a pretty bad game.
That
too.
sounds
It's not that
bad.
good.
That just sounds like a bad title for a game anyway. Lost. Like, does it come with a map or?
They basically retcon like the
Oh,
the
wow.
ending of the game.
I don't
anyway.
know.
Like it's like it's yeah. You
Oh, well, it's kind of like what LucasArts just did, and they're like, no, everything we've ever made doesn't count. Like, you can't do that. That's like cheating in horse or something. What the fuck are you doing?
that's Disney's fault.
Yeah, well, whatever. It's just like stupid. You just, well, okay, everything we've done for the past 40 years is forget about it. Wait, what?
Forget about it.
You can't do that. Like, actually, we can. See this clause right here in this contract? It says we can. Eat shit. You're like, what the? Come on, man.
Somebody brought that up at work, and I'm like, dude, even though they say that, it's not like they can erase the stuff I've read or seen out of my memory. It's not like they can go in my head like Men in Black.
What are they calling it? They're calling it like the Legacy universe or something like that. I was like, come the fuck on, get out of here. That's retarded. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. All right, I can't really think of many others. Grand Theft Auto would make a great game. Wait, fuck.
That is a game.
That'd make a great movie, actually. No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, we could flip it. What do you think? What games would make
That's a good one. It would Grand Theft Auto would have to be like a 17-part mini series in order to make a decent game or a decent movie. It would basically be the Stephen King's The Stand of video game movies. Man, you know what doesn't make a great movie? Resident Evil. That.
They make great movies, all right. They make great.
Is that right?
Great popcorn action flicks. That are,
you know what? I do take that back because I remember we did a show back in 2010 after I saw the third one, Extinction, or fourth one, whatever one that was, the 19th one, Extinction, and I actually enjoyed Extinction or whichever one it was I saw.
Yeah, I don't know.
I remember I liked it, but it was just so stupid.
There's some games there's some movies you just have to drop your brain at the door and just kind of like know that it's not about the plot. It's just to see some crazy stuff and accept it for what it is if you like that genres or not. But you know what? I do want to point out what happens when you get extremely bad games or movies that shouldn't have turned into games.
Right.
A perfect example is Beowulf, the game. It's called Beowulf, the game.
There's a game of Beowulf?
Yeah, I own it. I bought it for like $2.
That movie sucked, by the way.
So then maybe it was a good
the one with the crazy uncanny valley CG characters.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a shitty movie.
So then it actually did a good job of emulating the movie.
Yeah, pretty much. I was just thinking the same about another game you mentioned, but I can't remember what it was now. Oh, right, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. So anyway, with that. Yeah, I know. I talked to a guy I work with the other day about it. He watched my review and he's like, dude, that was a great review. Like, I totally agree with all your points on it. But it was still the best Spider-Man movie. I'm like, what? Wait, what? The fuck? How do you come to that conclusion after you agree with my review? Like, it's just the weirdest thing ever. But that's cool. Like, I wish more people could do that. I wish more people could go, dude, you're totally right on all these points. It's really a shitty movie technically, but I loved it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just forget all the combativeness about frickin' review opinions and crap. Let's just like something and then admit it's got faults. It's not a huge deal.
Yeah.
It's really not a huge deal. I wish more people could do that. I thought it was pretty awesome. Okay, so that was good. I think that worked out pretty well. That was a pretty entertaining segment. It wasn't too bad there. I was just thinking about some other stuff we could do right off of that. Basically, what I'm getting to is that. Speaking of movies that aren't that great, but are entertaining to just kind of think about, with it being Mother's Day and all, I think we should just go ahead and take a break and come right back in about 30 seconds.
Okay.
It's time for a message from one of our fake sponsors.
Mother's Day. For many, it's a time to say thank you and to celebrate. Man, how much longer we gotta watch this thing? Boss said till we get the ransom money. Now shut up and aim me that bottle. But for others, it's time for payback. Well, what happened to the power? It's that mother. Payback's a bitch, but so is she. Coming soon.
So I think that movie is going to actually take off the box office next year when it comes out on Mother's Day.
Wow.
So
I was half expecting like a mother like joke in there.
Yeah, no, I was thinking about that. No, it sort of is. He's like, there's that mother.
Yeah,
but it's she's actually a mother, so she's coming for her child, who they're holding ransom. Yeah, I always envisioned that. Like, they just like take take like a baby or a child or something for ransom, and you never like in the wild, okay? In the wild, you never ever fuck with a mother's baby. That's one thing you just don't do. But for some reason, the human race is just kind of like, well, what am I gonna do? I'm helpless. I'm a human. Like, okay, every other animal on the planet just destroys whatever fucks with its kids, and I just wondered, why wouldn't a woman do the same thing? So that's pretty much what I envision a real revenge flick sounding like. It's kind of like Kill Bill, actually.
Yeah,
Kill Bill's. I love that movie just because of that.
So do I.
Just because it's just like, just don't mess with a woman.
Yeah.
Especially a pregnant one. Jesus. Let me tell you. Justin could probably tell me, but we're not getting into that. We're not getting into that. So, over the weekend, because it's still the weekend, but before the weekend, I'm trying to get my dates straight here.
When will then be now?
Before the weekend.
Soon.
Yeah, thanks, Sony. Soon. Did you see have you seen the meme online, by the way? It's like Soonie.
Soonie.
It's like soon E with the Y at the end. But they take the Sony logo and just add an O in it because they keep on saying soon. They kept on saying the update for 1.7 with PS4 was coming soon, and they're like, oh, Soonie, okay, Soonie. So anyway, over the weekend I saw the new movie Neighbors, starring Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne and Zac Efron, my favorite guy from whatever the fuck he was on Disney Channel, High School Musical. So anyway, it's a comedy, supposedly, at least they claim it is, and it is about a couple. Justin, you could probably relate here. A young couple that just had their first child, and they are settling down in a peaceful neighborhood, and all of a sudden, that peace is disrupted by, lo and behold, a fraternity moving in next door. And at first they take it upon themselves to like take matters in their own hands. They're like, we don't want to be dicks. We don't want to be just like, because they're college kids. We don't want to just fuck with them. So like they go over and they like explain, like, hey, we don't mind if you make some noise. Just, kind of keep it down a little bit. And of course, them being a fraternity, they can't keep it down. And one of the things Zac Efron's character makes them promise him is that they won't call the cops. Well, what do? Call the cops. They think it's anonymously, but the cops have caller ID, and they realize, oh shit, now he knows it's us. So from that point on, Zac Efron takes it in his own hands and decides to make their lives a living hell. And so now you have a turf war going on, and they keep on doing things to each other, and it just gets worse and worse. And basically, if you've seen the trailer, unfortunately, there's a lot of the gags are given away in the trailer, and I hate that movies do that nowadays. I didn't actually see the trailer till after the movie because I just checked out of movies for the past year or so I was just kind of went into this blind. But I do use the trailers for my reviews because I don't like to use footage that isn't, out there in the public domain already, right? Because I don't like to spoil things. So I looked at the trailers, and there are a number of the gags already given away in the review, in the trailers. And the thing is, I don't think it really harms the movie that much, to be honest with you, because it is rated R, and there are quite a few gags that they couldn't show in trailers for obvious reasons. And basically, it is one of the most predictable, formulaic, unoriginal comedies you'll see like this year. But it's really smartly directed, and it's actually well written and acted, and it's actually pretty funny. Like, it's actually one of the funnier movies I've seen this year. So I ended up in my review giving it a 4 out of 5, which is really high praise from me. So yeah. If you are in the mood for a comedy, I'd recommend that you actually check it out, because I was laughing the whole time, and it actually might have helped that I saw it in a theater full of college kids, which was interesting, because every time the fraternity would do something to the couple, whom I found myself siding with, by the way, because I was like 10 years older than everyone in that theater, and and I found myself like kind of going, you know what, those college guys are kind of dicks. Like, I would be mad if my neighbors, by the way, my neighbors are 20-year-old girls. 3 of them live next door to me, and they do make a ton of noise. So anyway, they are kind of dicks for making noise, you know, trying to keep that little baby next door awake all the time. And but regardless, it was interesting seeing the dynamic in the theater in front of me, like listening to these kids cheer every time that, you know, the fraternity would do something horrifying to the couple. You know, and I was like, man, you guys suck. You guys are assholes. So I would kind of cheer back whenever, you know, they would do something to the fraternity. From there, though, like the story is pretty much like I said, it's totally predictable. You could imagine what they do next. What's the next logical step? Oh, the police didn't care. Go to the dean. Oh, so the dean tells you she can't do anything because they're on a 3-strike policy and they only have 1 strike. Guess what they try to do from there? You know, so it's
strikes.
like, yeah, exactly. So it's like, you know, completely predictable, like I said, and you can figure out what's going to happen, but it's like one of those movies that they space the gags out well enough so that you don't just like laugh for like, you know, 5 minutes and then sit for 40. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's actually a pretty well-paced set of laughs. And then like it's actually a pretty, I said in my review, a well-trimmed movie because a lot of these comedies feel like there's a lot of bloat. Like there's a lot of scenes that just could have been cut, and for whatever reason they haven't been.
Anchorman 2.
Yeah, that's true. So for whatever reason though, like these movies keep these scenes, I guess for story reasons, and not Anchorman 2's case. There's no damn story in that movie, but you know what I mean. Like this movie didn't really have anything like that. I didn't feel like pretty much everything in it. Yeah, pretty much everything in it was needed and funny. And like there's a scene in there, it probably could have been cut, but it was actually funny, I thought. There's a scene where like they're like the guys next door, the frat guys, they're having a Robert De Niro party. And they're like they're dressed up as like different roles that Robert De Niro has taken on in his career. Like one of them's like Taxi Driver De Niro, one of them's Meet the Fockers De Niro, one of them is and the black guy is dressed like Samuel L. Jackson from Jackie Brown, but he starts quoting Sam Jackson from Pulp Fiction, and Seth Rogen's like, "That's not even the right speech." Like he's just getting mad at him. It's really funny. But anyway, yeah, there's a lot of laughs to be had in this movie. I was actually really surprised by it. So definitely go see Neighbors if you have a chance.
So
it was
what I'm taking from
fun to watch.
What I'm taking from what you're saying is that while granted it's not an original movie and you could guess everything a mile away what happens plot-wise, it's still damn funny and well-directed, well-acted, and worth your time.
Right, mainly because of the I always think, personally, I think pacing is one of the most important things in a movie, especially a comedy, because a comedy, like, you have to hit the comic timing perfectly, and this movie actually hits the comic timing really well most of the time. You know, there's a couple of gags where you're kind of like, okay, like that was stupid, but like most of the time, yeah, it's actually really well done. And the thing was, I think it's like an hour 45 minutes. It felt like an hour and a half, maybe less than that. You know what I mean? Like it went by really quick, and that's always a good sign because it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't feel like there was anything extra there that didn't need to be, and you don't feel like your time's wasted. Like you just kind of go in, you laugh, you know, you have a good time, and then you're just done. But yeah, I've always been a proponent, like, as long as something is done well, especially, it even works in games and books or whatever, as long as something's done well, it doesn't matter if it's formulaic or unoriginal or whatever, as long as it's done well, it'll be entertaining, and that's all pretty much that matters to me. Yeah, I mean, you know, it have, like I said, in games all the time, you'll have, I don't know, what an open world game. Let's use Ubisoft for an example, right? Every open world Ubisoft game is pretty much like 90% copycatting the other. You know what I mean? Like they always have like the areas of the map that you have to unlock by like using a viewpoint, or, you know, in Far Cry 3's case, like the towers, whatever. And probably Watch Dogs will probably have the same thing. But for the most part, I enjoy myself whatever it is. You know, even though it's the same thing over and over, it's formulaic by now, right? But they do it well. And they pace it out, and they make it feel like you're accomplishing something, so you don't mind it because it's a useful mechanic. So that's kind of like how I feel about this movie. It's predictable. It's not original in the slightest. Like I just told you, you know, what happens in the movie, and you guessed exactly what they do. That's pretty predictable, but it doesn't really matter as long as the subject matter is well done, and it is.
It's a good time.
Yeah. The performance, surprisingly, that surprised me the most was by Zac Efron. And it's funny because he just plays like a really dumb kid in this movie, and for whatever reason he just excels at that role. So yeah, I can only imagine what that reason is, but yeah, definitely give it a try, give it a look if you want to. And for anyone like wondering, this is kind of just an aside, but my reviews, the way that I score personally, like on my site, I don't give half scores, so I just give 1 through 5, kind of like XPlay. And since Adam Sessler's retired now, I can do that. But I give 1 through 5, and then if I'm doing for Bloody Disgusting, like they have half scores, so I have to give half scores there. Okay. This is like a 4 out of 5 because it's mainly like it's really like a 3.5 out of 5, but I don't do halves, so I round up. And my goal, my thinking when I'm scoring something is, if it entertained me, that's what it was supposed to do as a movie. And that's pretty much an automatic 3 out of 5, right? Because it succeeded at what it set out to do as a film, and that's basically what I care about most. After that, and then I start looking at more, I start looking like nitpicking things, and then I say, well, that was stupid, this sucked, blah, blah, blah. And if I just feel like it just didn't entertain me, if I felt like I was looking at my phone, or I was, like rolling my eyes hoping it would be over, Spider-Man 2, like, those are less than 3 out of 5. So that's basically it. Like I have a pretty simple scoring system, I think. But anyway,
It's so simple, a monkey can do it.
no, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah,
Maybe
not a monkey. Maybe an orangutan, an ape.
Okay, I'll go with that.
Yeah, don't insult monkeys by aren't which is smarter? An ape is smarter, right? I think a chimpanzee is considered an ape. I'm not even sure. I think so. Yeah, I think a chimp is considered an ape, not a monkey. A monkey is like that stupid little garbage ass thing on Friends. That thing can just throw it out a window. I don't care about those. The thing in Indiana Jones, bringing it back to the beginning, coming full circle. Yeah, what's up? Poison the grapes. Yeah, because it's a monkey, not an ape. An ape would have known better. It would have smelled it first. Oh well. And Donkey Kong is an ape too. And my boy Donkey Kong so far is my favorite game of the year. I'm just saying, so. But that's just so far. Later this month we got Wolfenstein, and that looks pretty awesome. Gotta say.
Yeah, Wolfenstein looks good.
It does. It really looks good. I can't wait to at least give it a roll in the hay. How do you say? I can't wait to take it out for a roll in the hay. It'll be awesome.
Make sure you shop smart, shop smart.
Man, do me a favor real quick, because we only have a few minutes left. Have you played any of the Army of Darkness games?
You mean like the
Evil Dead games? Yeah, have you played those?
I own them.
Do you really?
I own Fistful of Boomstick.
Okay.
The what was it? The like Regeneration.
Yeah.
And Hail to the King.
Cool. Are they any good at all? As a fan of the series, are they any good?
Let me say this: Hail to the King is more like a Resident Evil style, but because it's Resident Evil style, it's kind of tough, and also there's respawning enemies, so which kind of is okay because basically you end up having to fight, and when you fight, you drop they drop like either gas for your chainsaw or health kits, so it's like you kind of have to fight so you can get health to live. But other than that, it's got puzzles like Resident Evil.
Okay.
And it's not bad, but it's dated for sure.
Okay.
Fistful of Boomstick is like, imagine kind of like a open world game like GTA, and each area you go to is like an open world map, and you have missions you do on those maps. So that's kind of like that, and you got crowd control stuff.
Wow.
And yeah, I know it's interesting. And then the last one is more of like level by level action game with a little midget Deadite.
Man,
it is actually voiced by Raimi's brother, and
oh really?
It's actually really funny. Like they like you use him sometimes, kick him into stuff and all that. So that one more plays out like a regular level by level, chapter by chapter.
I can't help but think like a proper Evil Dead game would play a lot like the old Splatterhouse games.
Oh yeah, side scrolling.
Yeah, like more like Splatterhouse 3, like the kind of like, you know what I mean, the kind of Streets of Ragey kind of like non-linear move up and down on the plane kind of thing, but you got, and I would love it in like the 2D sprites and stuff, I think that would be fantastic. Somebody just
Yeah, it would.
did that
And
kind of
I
thing.
wouldn't be surprised if they make another Evil Dead game at some point. I mean,
Yeah, I know. Especially they're making a sequel, right, to the next movie, or
Yeah.
to the remake. I actually thought the remake was pretty decent. So,
so did I.
but yeah, I don't know. I think it was the gore that I liked in the remake the most. They were just like, fuck it, who
It
cares?
was dark.
Yeah, exactly. It was a lot like the Justin Bieber movie. So yeah, man, what I was just thinking of something else too, and it was Darkman. I would love a Darkman game. Man,
There
you
was
talk
one
about
on Nintendo, I think.
was there really? No way.
Oh, let me Google it.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
I'm pretty sure there was. I could have swore there was a Darkman game because I could swear I played it.
You're thinking of Darkwing Duck. Close.
No. Let me see.
Let's get dangerous.
There is. I just did a Google. and see pictures of
Darkman
it.
NES. Holy Christ! They need to remake this, like HD remake this.
You know, actually, I think I played it, and I thought I think if I remember correctly, it was pretty good. Surprisingly,
Who made it? Who made this thing?
Ocean.
Who? Oh, really?
Ocean.
Ocean actually made some good stuff back in the day. No, they didn't.
Yeah.
They made that what was that movie called? Cool World. They made that Cool World game back in the day. That was
was hard.
a pile of shit. This is the Darkman game I'm watching right now. You hear that right there? That's a cutscene. That's what a cutscene used to sound like. Blip, 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 blip.
And that was in '91.
Yeah, Liam Neeson. Of course, Darkman. Like if they remade it today, he'd have to say Anything.
Yeah, and see what was cool about it is that there'd be like little side levels.
won't take
well, not
anything.
side levels, but there'd be like levels where you actually got to photograph the like your person that you were gonna make a mask out of,
Yeah.
and then you'd have to move a cursor around, and the better the photo you got, the more time that
that's
you were granted
cool.
to complete the level.
That's really cool. Wow. That totally blows my mind that they made a game out of Darkman. That was like the most niche ass movie. I swear. It was like RoboCop, but it was like a failure in the box office. It was, like they even stole like we're gonna build a new city on the other side of this city kind of storyline from RoboCop. You remember that?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we're gonna build a brand new Detroit, like with all this money and blah blah blah. And in Darkman, they were like, we're gonna build this brand new non-Detroit and other side with all this money. And he was like, you're not gonna do anything without me, anything. You hear me, anything at all? Yeah. So, man, that's crazy. All right. So, yeah, I would definitely like a remake of this though. That'd be cool. Not a remake, but treat it like a new IP.
Yeah.
I'd also like a Duckman game. Speaking of D-Man.
Duckman.
Darkman. All right, so that's a good show. I enjoyed myself. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody. Just kidding. Oh man, wow! I totally forgot I have No One Lives Forever installed on my computer. I've got to play through those. So I will do that as soon as we. I might do a Let's Play about those. Should I do that?
Yeah, you should.
I'm doing Let's Plays now, folks. I got a camera. Got all kinds of stuff. I got everything I need. Everything
Come on.
you need.
Welcome back, Mr. Carter.
Thank you for inviting me back. All right, so I think we know what time it is.
Yeah.
It's time to be really loud with that song, but
Yeah.
did you learn anything this evening, Justin?
Yeah, I learned that I still think licensed games are the shit, or are shit, mostly.
Yeah, mostly. They can be this shit, but they are just mostly shit.
But we took it so far back that, we went Evil Dead, and then we went Darkman.
Oh, man,
I didn't think we were going
Darkman.
there.
Well, it was a Sam Raimi. I was,
Yeah.
continuing the
Sure.
Sam Raimi thing, but man, what about Drag Me to Hell game, now that I think about it? That'd be kind of interesting.
It would be an interesting game.
It could be a like a Telltale kind of game. That'd be cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Drag Me to Hell. Yeah, I don't know what I learned. Not much, really, unfortunately. Actually, I did learn something. I was positive about a movie review this week. Oh my god, you
know,
have no
you shocked
idea.
me.
You have no idea how much of a relief it was when I walked out of the theater going, I actually like that movie. Oh my god, that's amazing, because most of the movies I've seen lately have been very bad. Very bad. So yeah, I can still bring the goods. I can still put out a positive review. I'm proud of myself. And you know
Yeah,
what's funny too? You get so used to like kind of not I don't want to say trash and stuff, but like you get so used to bad formulaic stuff that like picking out the good aspects of something is hard.
Yeah, it is.
It really is hard to pick out something good. And like even doing a positive review, you want to pick out like, well, this could have been done better, that could have been done better. And I do mention a couple of things like, you know, well, this could have been done better. But like for the most part, I was praising it. I was like, no, the direction's good. And, you know, it's well written, which is like the best thing about it. And Zac Efron plays an idiot really well, which is not a stretch.
Well, you know, it's like you said about movies. It can be applied to games. It's like, you know what? Sometimes games aren't original. Sometimes movies aren't original, and you just got to go in and just kind of, as long as it's well done,
Yeah.
just have fun with it, you know. And we're our own biggest critiques, and that's why I don't, you know, I think I'm kind of stemming away from reviews, and I just want to do playthroughs because I have a blast playing games. So it kind of makes sense.
It does make sense. All right, so next week, everybody, we're gonna have our first guest.
Yeah,
I guess I'll just wait and announce it on Facebook or something.
it's Gary Busey. Come on, just tell him. No,
Yeah, all right, Gary Busey. Should I say it? Should I say who it is? Or should I
I
just
don't know.
should I just
Leave it as a mystery.
Leave it as a mystery. All right.
Yeah, building a mystery.
Yeah. Okay. All right, everybody.
All right.
Tune
Thank
in
you,
next
guys.
week. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. It was pretty good. All right.
Yeah, pimp yourself.
See ya.
Pimp yourself.
Oh, pimp myself. They said pip.
Yeah.
Pip myself.
Well, you're listening to my podcast now you're listening to my channel on YouTube. I just added an intro video, by the way. So it's youtube.com/feduptv, which is kind of like dated, but still find it there. DonAllenDoes.com. Just go there. You'll find my Twitter, my Facebook, everything on there. DonAllenDoes.com. What's yours?
Mine is www.youtube.com/slasherjpc, and I do lots of Let's Plays now, and I have plenty of reviews and older stuff on there, but lots of content coming up with a new weekly schedule, so you should check it out. And follow me on Twitter @SlasherJPC.
/JPC. Easy to remember. Easy to get to.
Say,
Yeah, and your new schedule looks cool, by the way.
thank
So
you very much.
I'll definitely be checking out your new stuff. But thank you, everybody, and take care of yourselves and each other. Thanks, Jerry Springer.
Love, peace, and chicken grease.